Morty the Migrant Hunter. Incoming for Brandon. Incoming for Brandon. There we go, Brandon. Got another good show for you today. We got the music playing. We got the hot Java ready to go in the holiday mug. Like, share, and subscribe to Migrant Mayhem here at Land Cruiser Midwest. If you do, we got Chris Farley there dancing for us. It's a good day. It is, what it is today? Today is Wednesday. Today is when I had to think about that one. December 20th, 5 days to Christmas. 5 days, get that Christmas shopping done. 5 days left, and then it's Christmas. All right, we're gonna start the show here for you guys in a minute here. We're gonna bring the music down. We're gonna talk about Migrant Mayhem here in Chirac, Chicago, Chi-Town, whatever it is you want to call it. We're going to talk about it. We will be talking about it. Yep, we will. Yes, we will. Let's bring the music down, because that's what the DJ does. He brings the music down. That was Fantasyland. The migrants are living in a fantasy land, folks. I can tell you that. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Let's set this up. We got a good show for you today. Let me get this first one set up. So, some more details about what's going on at the Morgan Park campsite and why it's kind of off the table right now. So if I haven't said already, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I am Morty, the Migrant Hunter, also known as DJ Wonder Chrissy. Bringing you guys Migrant Mayhem on a daily basis. And thanks for checking in. Like, share, and subscribe. So this first video is more details on why the Morgan Park site, which is an old Jewel Osco, is kind of not moving forward at this point. So let's listen in and find out the details on what's going on with that site.
We now know why the city has shelved plans to build a migrant tent.
Let's recue that, folks. It's early in the morning here. I gotta get my act together. Let's see here. Where are we at? There we are. There we are. There it is. There it is. I was able to do it. Let's get rid of Chris Farley here. Goodbye, Chris. Goodbye. Okay, back to the clip. Here we go.
We now know why the city has shelved plans to build a migrant tent camp in Morgan Park. According to the mayor's office, an assessment of the site at 115th and Halstead revealed evidence of possible chemical contamination from former tenants. A 275-gallon underground fuel storage tank was once buried on that site. It was also once home to a dry cleaning facility. City Hall says they need to do a thorough investigation to make sure it is safe. City leaders say it currently does not need that site. It has enough room available in its other shelters.
So there you go. That is what's going on with that site.
Right now at 4.
So they're not going to be using that. Man, it's going here. They're not going to be using that as a tent site. But there's been some other things going on here as Alderman Lopez. He's I guess his area consented
doing things in the park.
His area consented for having one of their Park District field houses used as a temporary shelter back in June. And now he's leading the charge, and They had a meeting yesterday in the Gage Park area. I'm not sure exactly where that's at. I imagine it's on the south or southwest side. And talking about moving that out. And there's been some problems with that area. Increased crime, some smoky going on, and a little hanky-panky, I guess. So this is what happens when you let the migrants into your neighborhood. So let me cue that up, and let's listen to this short clip.
That are illegal. This is a very real concern. I don't think you guys are aware of the problem.
So it's been 6 months since a park district facility on the city's southwest side became a migrant shelter. And now residents want to know when those new neighbors are going to be moving out. Tonight, a meeting on that very topic drew strong reaction from community members. Casey Cronus has the latest from Gage Park.
Beautiful Casey Cronus doing a report again. I love her voice. And Alderman Lopez, if you don't know, he's one of the few alder people that's got common sense going on. Even though he's a Democrat, he's got some common sense.
About 400 men and women are living at the Gage Park shelter, nearly double what was originally expected. Now, some feel time is almost up.
We stepped up when nobody else was willing to, and I'm thankful to Gage Park for bearing with us in that moment. But now it's everyone else's turn to do the same.
When Alderman Ray Lopez volunteered the Gage Park Fieldhouse in June to help get migrants off police station floors, he says it came with 3 conditions: that it would be temporary, remain safe, and healthy.
When you have a 5-year-old boy whose life was lost, when you have numerous young children who are sick and ill, and whether it's questionable whether or not we're even providing most basic of medical care, who's going to give them sanctuary from these bad decisions?
After 6 months, he says it's time for the community to have their field house back. The mayor's office reports they've issued 175 migrants at the shelter with 60-day exit notices, a measure announced last month. But neighbors want to ensure that as migrants move out, new arrivals won't be moving in. Lawrence Jones says he's witnessed drug deals, prostitution, littering, and more.
I'm scared that if we go away for the weekend, that somebody's going to break into my house and steal the things that I've worked so very hard for in my life.
The city's deputy mayor of immigrant, migrant, and refugee rights, Beatriz Ponce de Leon, was there to respond for the mayor.
The very, very vast majority are people that are just here to work and build a life. They're not committing crime.
Now that's what else is the lady gonna say, right? The vast majority are okay. The other ones, they may do some bad things, but that's okay. You get to go with the bad. The next video we're gonna show you, the Brandon Johnson administration keeps saying that they're fully transparent or fully transparent. So we're learning now, after we had a 5-year-old lose his life at a shelter, that one, he was going to school with your kids, right? His vaccination requirements and history, no one really knows. No, they're not allowing any reporters into the shelter, but they are getting some video. So let me finish this one up.
While other arrangements have been made for the youth teams that practice at the field house, some residents say those options are farther away and more costly. Reporting in Gage Park, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
So there you go. So let me cue this one up.
When it comes to your...
Let's get this one going. So if you're not, we have a trend here, right? The citizens of Chicago, although the citizens of Chicago voted for this Yahoo, seem to be the ones always taking the brunt of the problems and bad decisions of Brandon Johnson. And let's face it, Brandon Johnson's not on the up and up with these people. Example, this 5-year-old who lost his life. No one knows. Now they're saying, no, it wasn't have anything to do with respiratory illness or communicable diseases. It was some other type of event, medical emergency that caused him to lose his life. So now we're finding out he was DOA at the hospital, basically. But we're not finding out from the medical examiner yet. I don't know how long it takes to get a report, or if they'll release a report on why this child was died. Okay, under Brandon Johnson's watch. We're gonna get some video here of what it looks like inside that shelter that he was living in, and but that video is coming from the people that are leaking video that are in there, the migrants. Brandon's not letting anybody in there because he knows it's nasty. But that's, you know what? You come to this country, you want something for free, you get what you get, right? I'm okay with that as long as it's humane, right? It's got to be humane. It can't be like a cold storage place or something. It should have some heat, should have some running water, should have some facilities. But that's up for debate too on what Brandon Johnson's been doing with these shelters. He's got like 26 and counting of these shelters in the city of Chicago, and I suspect some of them have zoning ordinance issues. Some of them probably have safety issues. Some of them are probably overpacked. Fire hazard issues. Yeah. As you saw in New York City probably a couple of months ago, they closed down some of their shelters because they didn't have sprinkler systems. They were a hazard to the migrants. You might see that starting to happen here in the Chicago area as, again, the people push back. But then again, I mean, I don't know which way to go with this, because they're pushing back, which is great, but they elected this doofus, right? That's, I guess, what I got to call this guy. He's a doofus. Yeah, that's Brandon. That is Brandon. He is the doofus. Yeah, he's not looking very good. So he's got incoming. He's got incoming coming on a daily basis now. That's Brandon Johnson. So I don't know what to tell you about that, but let's look at an update on the whole fiasco with the 5-year-old. It's a sad state of affairs. But of course, Brandon's gonna, make goody-goody and come up with some, I don't know, good PR campaign to make sure it doesn't bite him in the keister. So here we go.
Conditions inside of a city-run migrant shelter where a little boy was living before he died.
At least 6 people have been taken to the hospital from that shelter in Pilsen over the past few days, mostly children. CBS 2's Sabrina Franz.
It was isolated, only 6 people.
The Chicago Department of Public Health started raising red flags about chickenpox cases in migrant shelters on December 4th, almost 2 weeks ago. Still video from inside the shelter shows beds lined up against each other. No isolation as more and more asylum seekers are getting sick. Mayor Brandon Johnson says migrants are coming to Chicago sick. Volunteers say that's not the point.
And the people who are coming out were notably unwell. A lot of coughing, a lot of kids with kind of boogery, greenish stuff in their eyes, a lot of running noses, people visibly shaking and underdressed.
Britt Hodgson has been helping migrants for months at police stations, now at the Halstead shelter. She assists migrants outside in the cold because she says she and other volunteers have been denied access.
So we cannot approach the shelter.
Why is that?
Favorite Staffing has some rules and have threatened arrests numerous times in numerous shelters.
Favorite Healthcare Staffing, a healthcare staffing firm. City data shows they've been paid almost $94 million in the past year to help with this crisis.
Folks.
People are
Follow
still
the money.
kind of living open air, if you will, in a shared space in the shelter, no isolation.
This memo, obtained by CBS 2, shows the Chicago Department of Public Health flagging varicella, chickenpox, on December 4th. They note cases inside shelters for new arrivals.
400
5-year-old Giancarlos
cases,
Martinez
folks.
Rivero was living at the Halstead shelter before he died. His cause of death is still unknown.
He had a very high fever, over 40 centigrade, so that would be like at least 104.
He had to be taken to the hospital by ambulance, while just a few blocks away sits Alivo Medical Center, ready to receive and help migrants, though we're told no one really knows about them.
We know where to find migrants. We knew the stations, we know shelters. You could do mass vaccination and mass treatment, and we're just not experiencing that.
Moments ago, we got a statement from the mayor's office and
be warned, people. I don't know if it's in this video clip, but I heard this morning that kid, the 5-year-old, was going to school in that area. They're putting these kids, these migrants, in with your kids, and they not getting the vaccinations that normal people have to have.
updated statement about all of this, which says that on Sunday, this child had a medical emergency and staff at the shelter, they say, immediately called 911, issued chest compressions before emergency crews got there, and that child was pronounced dead at the hospital. The city is saying that this incident was not related to the other 3 children that were taken to the hospital on Monday, November 18th. They're also saying that in this case, the child did not appear to have died from an infectious disease, but again, the investigation into his death is still ongoing. Live in the newsroom.
Give us the
Sabrina
autopsy
Bonza,
report.
CBS
Give
2
us the
News.
death report.
Sabrina, thank you.
So there you have it. Brandon is not transparent in any way, shape, or form, folks. I can tell you that. I'm also going to talk about, in the past, I've said that Brandon was smart.
Last minute gifts they'll love
bring
under
this
25
down.
bucks.
What's
Like
going
stocking
on here?
stuffers starting at
Let's get rid of
$3.99
this.
a coupon.
That Brandon was smart for not putting his shelters in a centralized place. Like when the COVID pandemic was happening, Chicago set up a triage in a hospital place within McCormick Place, which is along the lake. It's a big convention center, lots and lots of space. The FEMA came in and set up their tents, and that's where it was located. Well, for this event, Brandon has decided to put these shelters in various open buildings within the neighborhoods, instead of going with the localized, which at the time I said was a smart move, because he's pushing these people into the neighborhoods so they become acclimated and assimilated into the neighborhoods much more quickly than if he had a centralized location, a mass tent, if you would, at a place such as McCormick Place. Well, now it's evidently showing up that, you know, he's got these places in the neighborhoods, but he's not setting them up properly. They're not isolated like a normal, those nice tents, those $29 million tents that he's paying Garda World to construct, although they've only halfway constructed one and taken it down. They're sitting on the sidelines waiting for the next location. It wouldn't surprise me if they put one up at McCormick Place. Surprise, surprise, and backtrack with their strategy there. So this just keeps getting worse. Brandon is taking incoming on a daily basis now. The knives are out, folks. The knives are out. The people in the communities are not taking it. They're pushing back big time now. They sense blood in the water as Brandon keeps making bad decisions. Somebody in his organization is making bad decisions, and it's showing up, folks. You know, they're trying to keep the media down, though. Like I said, they're not letting anybody. If they were totally transparent, they would let people into these shelters and view the conditions. They would answer some questions about, they're talking about, oh, kids are vaccinated. Well, exactly what vaccinations are they getting? What is your screening process? Where are your records for these kids to prove that they have been vaccinated? They're not going to show you that. This is nothing more than a cover-up, sweep it under the rug organization of Brandon Johnson. We should not expect anything more from Brandon. He's just a cover up. He's a shill. Please, guys, this guy is nothing more than sleaze. You shake his hand, you better go make sure you wash your hand immediately. This guy's a slick talker, but that's all he's got. Doesn't come out with any results whatsoever, and the results that he does get are pretty piss poor. Sorry to be so blunt about Brandon, but that's what it takes, folks. We've got to call an apple an apple, and that's what I'm doing. All right, well, I'm 20 minutes in. I think I'm going to end here. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you would. DJ Wonder Chrissy, also known as Morty the Migrant Hunter. Another episode of Migrant Mayhem here at Land Cruiser Midwest. Thank you guys for all your viewership. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Over and out, DJ Wonder Chrissy and Morty. Goodbye.